Hey, this is Lucas and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about a few ways that I'm buying gold. And I'm buying gold right now to basically hedge against all the chaos that's going on in the world. And maybe if you watch this, you might pick up some ideas that might interest you. So if we look at gold over here on APMEX, the gold price, if we look back to October a year ago, the price was $18.31 and now it's at $25.16. We're up 30% on gold. And gold is soaring right now because of all the money printing and the chaos in the world. And also there's rumors now that the BRICS nations will be using gold and as their reserve currency, replacing the dollar. And I'm seeing the writing on the wall with the role of the U.S. in the global order. I know that the U.S. dollar is in the process of falling right now. You'd be blind not to see that. And unless something changes in the U.S., it's going to become a third world nation. And there's not a lot right now that's going to change that, I'm afraid. So the best thing that someone can do, which is, I'm talking about me, is just ride the waves and invest in assets that will have value when the dollar doesn't. To me, that's gold, silver, and crypto. So, but here's the deal with gold. The ways that you can buy it has changed a lot over the last few years, thanks to blockchain and cryptocurrency. And even if you're a long-time gold stacker, you might not have been aware of all the ways that you can buy it digitally now, or that you can invest in gold via companies that allow you to spend in gold in a credit card format. My plan is to invest in physical and digital, and I'm going to explain why I'm going to do both when I talk about the pros and cons of each. So when we start with physical, we'll be talking about the pros of it right now. So with physical, the biggest advantage, in my opinion, is that you can hold it yourself and you're not relying on a third party to custody your gold unless you're using a vaulting service. It's usually it's in your home and you know where it's at. And there's not when you custody it yourself, there's not a chance of a company going bankrupt and losing your gold. Now, the downside of physical, in my opinion, is that it's harder to get rid of when you need to sell it. Let's say there's a huge run up, kind of like what we're seeing now, and probably what we're going to be seeing in the pretty near future. Let's say there's a run up and you want to sell your gold. You're dependent on the local metal shop or an online gold exchange to buy your gold. And how's this? I think, well, how's this going to go? How easy is it going to be to offload gold and silver if there's a lot of chaos? And another downside is being able to transport your gold. It's not easy to move around, especially again in times of chaos. How easy will it be to pick up your gold and silver and take it with you? And lastly, it's hard to spend gold. I know that there are laws making gold and silver legal tender, but how many merchants are actually set up to accept physical, especially in the large denominations? Okay, so that's pretty much my opinion on the pros and cons of physical. I know there's other ones, but that's just mine for right now. So I want to talk about digital, buying gold digitally. And in my opinion, the pros are that you can buy it on a large number of crypto exchanges straight from your bank account. It can also be easily sold the same way as when you bought it, and it doesn't need to be shipped. You can sell it straight into US dollars and send the cash quickly back to your bank account. You could also trade straight into other assets like Bitcoin or other metals or other currencies. And one of the biggest pros to buying gold-backed crypto is that you can buy very small fractions of the asset instead of having to buy and pay the high premiums on like quarter or half inch or half ounce physical gold. Also, like I mentioned before, during times of chaos, you can quickly go and grab your crypto wallet, like a ledger or your phone containing your assets, and take it with you quickly. And next, another pro is that there's more liquidity, and you have a marketplace of people from all over the world who are willing to buy it instead of a few local shops or having to pack it up and send it to an online gold dealer. The downside for buying digital gold is that crypto exchanges and other companies can go bankrupt at any time. But that can happen with physical gold companies as well. But the good part, of buying it, let's say I'm worried about my crypto exchange going out of business. A lot of these ways that I'm going to be buying it will allow me to move my digital gold off the exchanges as soon as I buy it. Another downside is having to store your exchange logins and your wallet keys. And if you do not keep up with your wallet keys, any value on your wallet is gone for good if you lose those keys. And this can be a big worry at times. Another big downside is the potential for scams and hacks. But if you stick with reputable exchanges and wallets, you'll rarely see this. And there's also other ways that you can protect your wallets and credentials, like using 2FA and YubiKeys. So let's talk about the different products and the ways to diversify when you buy gold. The first way is obvious, is physical, and I usually buy silver and gold from places like JM Bullion, APMEX, and there's also one that I am going to start buying from, and that is Miles Franklin. The owner of Miles Franklin is Andy Scheckman, and if you're into gold or silver, you'll see him all over Twitter or YouTube discussing the future of gold. And it's nice for me, it's nice to see a face with a gold company and somebody who is trying to further the adoption of gold. And he has a podcast right now that you can listen to, and it's called the Resilient Compass. And you can listen to that on YouTube. So now let's talk about buying digital gold and where are the best places, in my opinion, to buy it and the best products. So first, let's start with Uphold. Uphold is a great exchange, and I've been using them for probably 5 or 6 years. My only complaint about Uphold is that they have higher buy and sell fees than most other crypto exchanges. I think it's around 2%. And again, the great thing about buying crypto from an exchange like Uphold is that you have instant access to a large number of buyers when you want to sell it. And you can trade it into other currencies. So if we look at their website, it says buy gold, silver, platinum, and palladium, and enjoy instant liquidity into 27 national currencies, as well as zero custody cost. Also spendable via the Uphold debit card. So that's another good thing about some of these exchanges, is that you can buy your assets and leave them on the exchange, and then you can have them send you a debit card, and you can spend in stores your assets. And that's the one thing that, like I was talking about, that you can't really go out right now and spend your gold in a store, but use an exchange like Uphold, it allows you to do that. And they have other information on here. You can get on their website and check it out. So that's a good one. That's one of the ones that I do use. Now let's move on to the Ethereum-based PAXG Gold. And Ethereum-based means that it's just built on the Ethereum blockchain, which is the second largest blockchain behind Bitcoin. Now, the great thing about PAXG Gold is that it can be bought from a large number of exchanges. And if we go over here and look at the exchanges, you can buy it from Kraken, you can buy it from KuCoin, you can buy it from Binance. And I looked a while ago, and you can also buy PAXG Gold off of Uphold, which is the exchange that I was just talking about previously. And here's another great thing about PAXG Gold, is that when you want, you can move it off the exchange as soon as you buy it, and you can hold it in a wallet like MetaMask, Atomic Wallet, and I'm pretty sure that you can put it straight into your Ledger wallet via Ledger Live. But if you can, I can't remember offhand if you can, but if not, you can always use your Ledger wallet in conjunction with a wallet like MetaMask, and that keeps it safe. It keeps it off the exchange in case an exchange goes down, in case an exchange gets hacked. Your digital gold or your assets are off that exchange and onto a hardware wallet. Next, there's a service called Glint, and I have the website up here, and you can buy, save, spend real gold instantly with Glint. And this is a way to buy gold and use it via credit card format. Now, this service allows you to download an app to your phone and then either wire or use ACH to buy gold or USD. And then you can have a card sent to you and you can spend that gold straight from the card. Or you can just ACH some money in there and then you can buy gold and keep it in there. And and what is cool about this app is that you can move back and forth between USD and gold. And my wife is actually has this card. And as of right now, we've only moved money in to buy gold. We haven't tried to spend it yet because, I'm just not going to spend gold right now with the prices going up. And Glint is a service that I'm really excited about. And here is the CEO talking about the Glint card.
First company in the world to enable physical gold that you own to participate in electronic payments. Everyday money with the Glint app and MasterCard. You can buy as little as 1 cent's worth of gold or millions of dollars. You can, of course, save it. You can send it from one account to another, and you can spend it anywhere in the world. I pay for my Ubers on the way here, my flights when I'm going around the United States, and those flights last month were a lot cheaper for me than they were everybody else because gold's doing so well.
So that's pretty cool. And the CEO of Glint right now has a podcast with Andy Sheckman, a guy that I talked about earlier. And it's called the Resilient Compass Podcast. Yeah, it's right here, the Resilient Compass Podcast. Okay, and moving along, this is one that I'm getting pretty excited about, and that's MELD Gold. And this is getting into the real world assets being tokenized onto blockchains. And that is the biggest sector right now for blockchain is real world assets. And MELD Gold is bringing tokenized gold to the blockchain. And soon it's coming to my favorite chain, which is the XRPL. And right now, MELD is only on the Algorand network. And then I hold Algorand very little, but I don't use it. So it coming to the XRPL is pretty exciting. And here is, I think, the CEO being interviewed, and he's talking about it.
We step towards the future where access to assets is democratized and where traditionally illiquid assets can become liquid. So to kick it off, Michael, in what ways does tokenization enable innovative use cases in commodities and particularly in gold?
Yeah, thanks, Jazz. So, there's two components with how we see innovation in RWAs, and in particular the RWAs we focus on, which is physical. Once you digitize an asset and you actually bring it on chain, it really unlocks a whole range of utility, which is one of the core value propositions we heard it talked about in several of the talks today. So once we actually get it on chain, we simplify the process of identifying who owns it. We simplify the process of authenticating the product, and that really opens up a huge amount of functions. So in reality, the key value proposition is how can we use gold in place of things like fiat, how we would traditionally have used it in Web 2. So that is really the key value proposition. How can we use gold to borrow? How can we use gold to take positions in options protocols? How do we use gold to generate yield? With the idea that gold then becomes a really interesting alternative to sitting in things like US dollars. Then on the other side of once we actually do digitize, and this is where MELD Gold does so much of its work, is how do we minimize the trust required to connect that digital twin to the physical product. And this is really something that hasn't seen innovation for 20, 30, 40 years. So a lot of the work we do is how do we make it so you're not just owning a digital twin of something in the real world, but we're minimizing the trust required in taking up that digital ownership. And that's really where we sort of see scaling things like digital ownership of RWAs being global, because the key issue currently is there's still so much trust required for the off-chain component to the on-chain. So that's where a lot of our work takes place.
Right.
And if you see them talking, you notice that just about everybody talks about the future of assets or anything financially. They're always talking about how we're moving away from the US dollar. And that's the scary thing for me, or that's the main reason why I'm trying to buy more gold, is simply for that, because we're not going to be on this US dollar. We're not going to be using US dollars like we are now. The world won't be. And if you're curious on how to buy gold through MELD Gold, a good place to start is getting the Zaman wallet. And this is a wallet that is basically run on the XRPL. You can download it, and then you can purchase your XRP. You can send it to that wallet, and then you can buy things like MELD Gold or other tokens. But MELD Gold is one that I'm really going to be able to, one that I'm really going to be looking forward to buy later in the year. And let me finish with this. And I don't think there's a wrong way to buy gold. I think if you're getting your money out of dollars or as much as you can, and you're buying anything else to hold the value of your money, whether you buy physical or you buy digital. The whole point is to avoid inflation and the fading US dollar. So I'm not preaching one of these ways over another. Probably the best strategy is to do a little bit of all of it. Buy physical, buy digital. If you're going to buy digital, buy some on Uphold and keep it. Buy some buy some MELD gold on the XRPL. Buy some PAXG gold from Kraken, the Ethereum token, and just hold a mix of all of them so you don't have all your eggs in one basket. And if I'm missing anything about buying or storing physical gold, let me know. I have physical gold and silver, but I've not done as much research as I have for cryptocurrency. So if you have any ideas, anything that I might want to know, put it in the comments, because I'm always interested in learning more about it. But that's it for right now. If you wouldn't care, please like and subscribe to the channel if you got anything at all from this, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.